Hello guys. Namaste, Parev, Ndiepi, Sanbonani. Anyway, guys, we have an HP laptop that is not turning on at all. The issue here is the charging port, but one of my guys, changed the charging port, but still the machine didn't turn on at all. So we have to go through this, guys. We have to see why it's not turning on. Trying to connect my charger. Let's go ahead. Normally with an HP laptop, when you connect a charger, it gives you what? It gives you a light on the charging port. But in our case, there's no light on the charging port. So let's go ahead, guys. Let's do it. All right, so the first thing first, normally what I do, I disconnect all the components from the motherboard. We have to disconnect everything from the motherboard. Sometimes it's even possible that one of those components from from the chassis, from the laptop chassis, is the one creating a short and causing the laptop not to turn on at all. That's why whenever you are repairing a device, you have to disconnect all the components, remove everything from the board, and then you have to try the board by itself without any attached components on it. Guys, it's easy to do this. Just have to follow the correct procedure, and trust me, you will be fine. Anyway, I've connected a microscope, so let's have a look on the first and the second MOSFET. Remember, since we have no power on the board, we have to follow this procedure. We have to check the first MOSFET, the second MOSFET, and then check on the current sense. So let's see if we have any voltages there. So we can't jump to the motherboard and check the 19.5 volts. We have to start here on the main power. We have to test what we have to check the 19 volts from the first MOSFET. And those four numbers, the last number there, number 6, it's an even number, meaning they are using an n-channel MOSFET. So whenever you are checking the type of a MOSFET, you have to use that 4-digit number and check the last number, which is 6 in our case, whether it's even number or odd number. If it's odd number, it means you have a p-channel MOSFET. So let's check for a short and see if we have any shorts on the MOSFET. And there we go. Our problem is this guy here, of which is the second MOSFET, is the one that is shorted. So whenever you are fixing a board, we have to check the MOSFET. But remember one thing, when you are checking for a short, we have to disconnect the power. So in this case, there was a continuity from that MOSFET on the other side into a current sensor, whereas there shouldn't be any continuity at all, you see. So that MOSFET right there, the tiny one right there, was allowing power to pass into a current sensor. But luckily, the first MOSFET would definitely pick up that there is a problem with the second MOSFET, and it's going to prevent the machine from turning on by cutting the power, by stopping power from the other side. So in our case, this was exactly the case. So in this situation, guys, we have to go ahead without a waste of time and replace that shorted MOSFET. Okay, I know it's gonna sound like as if the machine should turn on because that second MOSFET is allowing power to go into the current center, of which is fine. But the problem is the charging chip is so smart, it will definitely pick up that there's something wrong. There's a MOSFET allowing power to move one way because it won't be able to control that MOSFET through gates anymore, and it's gonna pick up that there is a problem with one of the MOSFET. So in our case, we are having exactly the same problem. All right, so guys, let's go ahead. Let's take down that bed guy. We have to use your hot air station as well as the tweezers. You can apply the flux if you want to, but in this case, I didn't apply flux, and I had to take out that bad guy. Same time, I had a replacement. You can see the replacement. It's not exactly the same as the other one. So you apply your heat, but in this case I normally use a flaxy unless if you are more professional like me, but you have to use a flaxy is gonna make it smooth and it's gonna sit proper where it's supposed to sit. Anyway, there I was changing the MOSFET. And I'm changing what? I'm changing the second MOSFET with another one, the one that is not shorted at all. And I know you might be asking what type of a MOSFET I used there. Obviously, it's an N channel MOSFET because the first MOSFET was an N channel MOSFET. This means the other one is going to be an N channel MOSFET as well. And I use my spray. I normally like to clean the board, guys. I hate to see flaxy all over the motherboard. So there is this special spray that I use. It's mixed with some few things, but it evaporates very fast, and it's good for what, for motherboard. And before I used to use pure alcohol, and I have alcohol as well. I still use it, but in this case, in this machine, I was using what? I was using that special spray for motherboard. And there is another problem I was facing, guys. I didn't tell you about. Okay, so here the charging ports were not exactly the same size. The other one was short, and the other one was long. And this port needed a longer charging port. So I had a shorter charging port. So what I did was I cut the charging port into two pieces and I extended it, okay, using another charging port. But it was easy and nice. So what I did was I used a sharp razor to expose the wires, and I applied some flux. Anyway, let me just show you under the microscope. I believe you will see everything nice and clear. Anyway, let's go ahead. Let's see. I will show you just now. All right, there we go. So I was cutting them with a razor, a sharp razor, as you can see. Okay, so what you do is you cut the charging port into two pieces, and then you join them with what, with a longer charging port. Guys, it's easy. I know you can do it. It's very easy. Anyway, done, and I did replace the charging port, the faulty charging port, but our issue was not that charging port. Even though it was faulty, you can see it physically damaged, and it's too risky to use such charging ports because they can burn your laptop. But anyway, there we are. The machine is working 100%. Oh, anyway, guys, I'm gonna see you next time. Anyway, don't forget to press the subscribe button, and bye bye.